I went shopping yesterday. I bought some stuff. The things that I added yesterday. Should we talk about matic really quickly, Brandon?
Dude, I was going to have you bring that up because that's cool because I hadn't even heard about this. You told me about this right before the show. This is actually something that could be, I think, a game changer for matic. Good job.
I think it could be a real big game changer. Now, quick background, matic was always kind of known as this layer 2, and because it was essentially, let's help Ethereum scale. Now, in the beginning, that wasn't enough for me to be an investor. I was like, that's not enough, man, because if your whole business, if your whole raison d'etre is to scale Ethereum, what happens when Ethereum scales on its own through these iterative software upgrades? You might say, well, what's left for matic, right? Well, matic is becoming, Polygon is the company name, it's becoming a layer 1, a fully flushed out layer 1. And yesterday it was announced that Meta, Facebook, will be using matic to roll out NFTs and transactions on Instagram, which I don't know if people realize how big that ends up being. It's many, many magnitudes bigger than every single other anything in crypto because it's direct to the people. It's not a dumb pay to earn game, play to pay or pay to play or get paid to kind of pray or what. It's not any of that stuff. It's not gamifying. It's simply saying we're going to take a giant compliant user base of rubes. Think about it. Like Instagram is like, it's probably humanity wise, it's one of the worst cesspools of disgust on earth. But there's a lot of people that bang around on Instagram a lot. People spend a lot of time on Instagram. Point is, there's a lot of people. And if you're going to be the underlying protocol to service those transactions, because it will start as NFTs, this partnership is something they said they've been working on for months. They could finally announce it. Matic, as we've been saying, now I didn't know about this partnership until yesterday, but as we've been kind of talking about, matic is becoming a fully viable layer 1 that doesn't need we scale Ethereum as their bumper sticker. So I think this is a big deal. And I think over time, it will be a big, big, big deal. My contention was that I think matic can have a sizable chunk in the space. There's no reason it can't have every bit as big a market cap as Cardano. I mean, I love Cardano, but they didn't sign a deal with Facebook. Sorry, Meta. This partnership between matic and Meta, Facebook, Instagram, is a revenue generating partnership because people will be using the token. Companies will be using the token. Advertisers will be using the token. So I think that's a big deal. And I think if the market wasn't so panicked right now and getting punished, this thing would have probably 2x'd last night. It'd be up 100%. 2 or 3 years ago, just that news would have made Bitcoin double in value. So good on them for doing a real deal in amid all this chaos. What are we talking about today? Well, the entire market, as you guys know, went into chaos mode yesterday. Anything stick out, Brandon, that you thought was, remarkable or more interesting than any other day?
Are you kidding? So my Twitter feed. So obviously on Twitter, I follow a lot of the NFTers, a lot of the crypto guys, a lot of that stuff. My Twitter feed yesterday, you would have thought it was the end of the world. The way everybody was talking, they acted as if a nuclear explosion had just happened and they don't know where to go. They're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. A lot of the guys are saying this is probably one of the top 3 worst days in crypto ever, just because of the mass amount of different things that happened, different events. It was nuts.
Well, it was a comedy of errors yesterday. I don't even know really where to start. It's the greater discussion is investors in the crypto space are not willing to put new currency units in. And a lot of them, we're beyond the point where people don't want to buy in. We're at the point where leverage is going to kick in. And I try to warn people as much as I can, do not take leverage in crypto. Don't be Michael Saylor. Don't borrow against your crypto to buy more crypto. There's a word for that. Brandon, what's the word for that? It rhymes with stupid. Oh, that is the word. Sorry. That was the word.
You nailed it.
It rhymes perfectly with stupid. You don't borrow a volatile asset to go buy the same volatile asset as a competent fiduciary for a company. And you definitely don't do it as a private investor. You just don't do it. That is stupid. That is gambling. Do Kwon, Tether, Terra, Luna, all that, sorry, not Tether, Terra, Luna, that whole ecosystem. So Do Kwon and Michael Saylor and several other people, they think they know more than everyone else on the planet Earth. They tried to, in their own way, call the bottom. That's why they leaned into Bitcoin last week. They called the bottom. And they were wrong by 30%. They were wrong. So in any other business, you're effing fired, bro. You're fired. Don't grab your, matter of fact, we'll pack up your desk, get out of the building. We're not going to validate your parking, so F you if you can't afford it. That's what happens in any other business if you miss it by 30% with investor money. These guys are so wrong, but then you're wrong if you follow them. You're wrong if you own MicroStrategies because you know this guy's a psychopath. You're wrong if you follow and if you own UST for the 20%, which by the way is no longer 20% because it's an unsustainable reward, of course, because you can't manufacture 20% out of thin air, as it turns out. When you see that banks across America and across the world pay 2 basis points to your savings account, how do you think these other jackwagons get 20%? Remember, you're not staking with the way Luna and Terra works. You have Luna and you have Terra and you have UST, right? That's their stable coin. You buy Luna, you burn Luna, you make UST. You buy Luna, you burn Luna, you make UST. That's fine on the way up. Like all Ponzi schemes, they work on the way up. It's when they debase, you can't get back because what do you have to do? You have to sell one for the other. And if people see that, you think they just sit and wait and say everything will be fine. So you lose the peg. So why anyone on earth would trust Do Kwon, because, you know, math. It's not like I don't like the guy. The guy seems like a cool guy from his tweets where he attacks people for questioning math, right? I guess he seems cool. So, and I don't not like Michael Saylor. The guy's incredibly intelligent. But sometimes people are really smart at certain things. You know, like that weird guy at those Renaissance fairs who's like really good at making knives and axes. He's like so good. They're like, that's Bobby. Bobby makes knives and axes. He's a genius. He is a genius. Bobby's a knife and axe Renaissance fair, not taking showers genius. But he's not so good at financial responsibility. And when people aren't good at financial responsibility and, you know, like math, don't give them your effing money. Dear God, man. It's the craziest thing. And when this was unwinding yesterday, so my rule is I know when we're at the bottom of a market because I'll get 4 calls from people I feel like are competent, sane, educated, in the space people. I got texts and Telegram messages from people with a combined net worth of over $3 billion. So people with some skin in the game. A billionaire and a centimillionaire who has, well, gosh, he has access to a lot. Anyway, the point is people are freaking scared, and which is for us that don't take on leverage, that just buy quality assets, it is absolutely amazing because you can sit back and you can look and say, okay, where in my portfolio can I add a little? Can I rebalance a little? Things like that. So for me, and I hope for you guys, I hope if you guys have been absorbing this stuff and you're not taking on leverage and you're just playing it smart, you've just focused on your 6-month cheat sheet, your what we call the November cheat sheet. You're looking, where do I have a discount? Everybody here just got in a time machine and got to go backwards over a year, and you're doing great. You're doing great if you don't take leverage. And really quickly, Nexo, for those of you that don't understand, Nexo is a trading platform. It's also a place where you can hold assets. Now, they are a proper quasi-decentralized, quasi meaning they have decentralized products, financial institution where they lend to people out the back end of the facility. You park your assets there, they over-collateralize loans, and you get part of the interest. It's kind of an 80-20 split or something like that. It's not a Ponzi scheme because Nexo, there's nothing to Ponzi. They're making loans and you get paid for it. You're essentially partnering with Nexo in crypto-based lending. Now, are there assets on Nexo that I don't trust? Sure. UST, Luna, Solana, a handful of assets where the teams have proven that they are not competent fiduciaries. If the teams are dirty or if they are incompetent, what's the difference? There's no difference, man. Whether it's through malevolence, malaise, stupidity, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. They're just wrong. Stay away from them. Don't invest in them. If the team makes you uncomfortable, exit so that you can sleep at night, so that you're not pegged to these idiots and their bad behavior. Then when these markets look like this, you feel good.